Like you're getting heavy duty rainfalls?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's been getting pretty ugly.
Ugh. Ooh.
Pretty ugly.
Ooh, I just got chills. Ugh.
Thinking about the rain?
No, I think I gotta pee. Okay, I'm good to go.
And intro. Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of the BRG podcast. I'm your host, Warp Jester, and my co-host,
Kirak, hi guys.
how's it going, Kirok?
Excellent.
How's the week been?
The week's been non-eventful,
Non-eventful?
gaming-wise, but I am prepping for the Switch. I already pre-ordered my SDXC card. All ready for it. Nice big 200 gig card.
Great, you can hold all the games that are not coming out on Nintendo.
Well, thanks for pointing it out.
Spoiler alert! Oh wait, no, we'll cover that later in here. Other than that, man, is anything exciting going on outside of the gaming realm?
Just, usual health checks and stuff like that. Friday that went by, I went and did all kinds of ultrasounds and x-rays and blood tests and yeah.
Let's see if you're healthy. We're gonna irradiate you and see if you're healthy.
I know, really.
Yeah, true fact, there was actually a gentleman that lived through both bombings of Japan in World War II.
Are you serious?
He was in Hiroshima when the bomb went off, and then after that traveled back to Nagasaki and got bombed again and survived through both of them.
Holy
Lived to a ripe old age.
So what you're saying is if he comes to live to Toronto, I should move out.
All I'm saying is his electric bill's probably pretty low. This guy glows in the dark. No. Anyways, so guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump through some news here. Got some real good news bites that I want to or bits that I want to go through, and we have a couple of good meaty bites topics we want to talk about. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. So to start us off tonight, we're going to talking about right at the top here. The stupid DRM web service. Their website had a bit of a leak. Basically, the leak allowed the company or the people to get access to email submissions to the company, and this is all kinds of things such as submissions for developers looking into this as a solution for their game, to add this DRM to their game, and even a whole bunch of other interesting things like death threats and other random bits and bobs. My God. So yeah, if you want to know more about them, this is the way they do it apparently. So yeah, good for them.
Logitech launches its first 4K webcam. It's called the Brio. Most Italians would know that as a drink. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it. It's called Chinotto or Brio. Really good drink. But this cam looks pretty amazing as a webcam. Only drawback is it might need 25 to 35 megabytes upload speed in order to work and give its full quality. But I like it.
If you're streaming?
Maybe one of these days. Yeah, you can use it for web streaming. You just need a good internet connection.
Yeah, that's beyond good.
Well, yeah. Above average. Way above average.
Can't even get 4K over the air or over cable right now. What the hell?
But think about it. It'd be a cheap 4K camera. It's going to be about $200. It'd be a cheap 4K cam just to record stuff in game, face cam in a game or something. Doesn't have to be used for
right, streaming. Cheap 4K camera. Okay, yeah. I was saying that is not a cheap camera.
No, well.
But as a 4K, you are correct. That is a very cost-effective 4K. Damn. Okay then. Pardon me. So just a little bit of a warning here. There was actually a compromise in Steam that wasn't so cool. Now, preemptively, I want to point out this has already been patched. This has already been addressed by Valve, so it's no longer a spaz out thing here, but basically what it was some people in the Steam subreddit figured out they discovered an exploit in the Steam profiles. They would, if utilized, would allow a malicious person to gain access to look at your activity streams, redirect you to non-Steam sites, or even silently buy on the community market with your wallet. And the exploit was utilized simply by directing somebody to a compromised or a malicious profile that had malicious software. Just opening up and viewing it would cause a compromise. So, yay! Yay for that!
It's a good thing they patched it up already. Well,
yeah.
Valve, our same friends Steam, are to abolish Steam Greenlight. They're going to be replacing it. Yeah, they're going to be replacing it with what's called Steam Direct. They expect this to happen in early spring, early summer.
So what's the difference?
So Greenlight is being red lighted. Was basically an area where where developers could post games and players, actual people who go on Steam and buy games and stuff, could take votes on it, and if Steam saw that a lot of people really wanted to play that game or couldn't wait to play that game, they would actually publish it or make it available, even as an early access or something like that. So Steam Direct basically will allow devs to register their games, and after a verification progress, they can publish them as they will or as they please. So pretty different. I mean, it's different, but kind of the same.
Okay. Yeah. I'll bite. I'll go with that. In YouTube world, remember that whole suspicious possible desub or unsub bug that was happening?
Yes, it's happening to me.
Oh, horse. Post crap. People will no. Anyways, there actually was a confirmed actual real bug with unsubbing, and this bug was an interesting one because what it was anytime anybody unsubbed from a channel, it actually counted as 2 unsubs.
Oh,
and
awesome.
so you could sub and unsub and sub and unsub and
like I said, it's happening to me.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, this is not actually unsubbing. Well, I'm not unsubbing from a channel and Kirok is magically becoming unsubbed. It just the ticker counts as double when it shouldn't have, and so you're actually losing subs per se. It just makes it look like you are, which is not a great thing anyways. This has already been corrected or is being corrected. However, of course, the piddly little shit trolls over at 4chan, being the useless little petty people that they are, have figured this out and have gone out and decided to take advantage of it and have started mass unsubbing sites to ruin their numbers against left-wing groups that they don't agree with, kind of a thing. So, and it's not a big deal. It's not. All it is it's screwing up the reflection of what should be there. It's not actually screwing things up per se. But of course,
Gotcha.
leave it to the little piss ants over at 4chan to fucking do this kind of shit. Bunch of fucking useless little shits. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Nintendo Fire Emblem Heroes. This game recently came out on mobile devices and has earned an estimated $2.9 million during the first day. First day earnings were $2.9 million, putting it behind Mario and then Pokemon. Mario was 8.4 and Pokemon Go was 10.2 million. Pretty cool. Nintendo's doing well, I think, in the mobile space.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
The space that nobody kind of really anticipated that on. That's probably a good thing for them because potentially the Switch may not be so lucky on this. So analysts over at finder.com.au did basically a lineup of all the different systems from the dawn of time, all the way back to the early Nintendo systems, the PS1, etc., all the way up to current, and basically laid out the relation of how many releases there are, or how many games aren't released, how many exclusive, and things like that. And it's rather interesting because the Switch is actually one of the smallest launches for games in 21 years.
Hmm.
They note there's going to be two Nintendo games, two Switch exclusives, three brand new games, four third-party games, four indies, five retail, five downloads, and seven previously released games from other consoles. Um, Now, the stats they have I can find kind of interesting. For console, the Switch is the smallest console launch lineup since the Nintendo 64 in 1996. Handheld wise, Switch is the smallest handheld launch lineup since the DS in
In
2004.
2004. Wow.
For exclusives, Switch has the smallest proportion of exclusive games in its launch lineup in over 21 years. Runner up, the next smallest launch lineup in terms of total numbers of released games and proportioned where exclusives were GameCube, released in 2002, which sold 22 million units. Now, there's still hope, as they note in this, which is in the Switch's favor. The DS only launched with 6 games, 2 of which were exclusives, and it sold over 154 million.
Hmm.
Now, that still goes back to the whole concept we had about the fact that the DS is a very strictly mobile device, and we really think the Switch should have been really marketed as the next generation of mobile that kind of can do something else.
Yeah, agreed. Wow, so that's not too promising as a small lunch lineup in so long. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Mm.
And you pre-ordered.
They can make it. In fact, Nintendo is pretty intent on winning over third-party developers.
Or so they
Um,
say.
yeah, yeah. So Nintendo doesn't want a Wii U repeat on their hands and essentially have made it. Well, they're basically
Ah, yes. The
in other
Nintendo
words.
PU. Because, boy, did
uh,
it stink.
they're doing what they can to make it easier to get third-party developers involved. In fact, they're trying to make sure that it's compatible with mainstream tools such as Unreal and Unity.
Uh-huh.
One of the quotes in the article indicates that they're saying they see development time for, say, an existing game to be ported over to the Switch to not take more than a year with these tools that they're building or making. So
Fair enough.
I'm hoping that's true. Like, I mean, we got Bethesda on board with Skyrim, right? Sure, it's the original Skyrim, but still, Skyrim was a killer game back in the day, and it's awesome to have the thought that you could play that
Yeah.
on the
No,
Nintendo Switch. I was
that's
just
true.
about to say Wii U.
No, I will say that there's some people kind of like raising an eye, like, well, yeah, but it's the original Skyrim. I've never played it, so
Well,
I
I
could
did
go
that.
back to it and
I
go, okay, this could be enjoyable.
Yeah,
Bear
I
in
did
mind,
that. When I first saw it, I was like, that's the original Skyrim, though. Like, that's a 5-year-old game, 4-year-old game. Like,
yeah,
but but
but
it's
but
going
you
to be
don't
in its infancy, and it's going to improve over time. So,
you
what
don't
were you
you
saying?
don't go back to old movies and go, oh yeah, but they're old movies.
Yeah,
You know, there's
exactly.
great movies that are old. Same games can still be great. Yeah, the graphics may be different, but hell, there's a lot of modern games now going back to very simplistic graphics. So I mean, it's not the end of the world, guys. It really isn't.
No,
And please don't get me wrong. I'm being very tongue in cheek with bashing Nintendo. You know, I'm not really a console person, but I would like to see. I always have a fond spot in my heart for Nintendo in general. So I do hope that they do well. Plus, I like them always pushing limits and breaking boundaries when it comes to the ideas of what a console is and what controllers are and so on. So I do hope for the best.
mm, agreed.
Anyways, quick little touch on a change of topic here, which is how video game chat clients became the web's new cesspool of abuse. I'm going to take this a little bit of tongue in cheek. This was an article that Seshi found, and it is a really interesting long read, and I do recommend reading it. I'll be honest with you though, I'm not really on board with it. It's an opinion piece of sorts talking about the Discord chat service and how it works. And for those of you that don't know, Discord is a text and voice communication platform. So basically, you have different chat rooms. People can jump in for audio or for a text and talk and whatnot. And basically, the thing they're trying to line out here is like, well, Discord as a whole has over 25 million users that flocked to it since its launch in 2015. The company itself has raised over $30 million in venture capital. And the company only has 5 customer experience personnel. And then they go on to say how this is completely ineffective and they can't effectively manage trolling on these different sites, different groups. I read through this article and just I'm not sure if they're intentionally being askew with this, or if Brian here, the author of this, is just stupid and doesn't understand what Discord is. Because the way they make it sound, this entire article, is that the fact that somebody can jump on like the BRG Discord and post nefarious things is somehow Discord's fault that they're not managing this. Which is, forgive me, but it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Discord is a service that, like, for example, BRG happens to use, and we manage it. We have moderators who
exactly
go through and manage this. So
it's like any forum.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not gonna piss all over WordPress for not managing my forums. It doesn't make any sense in that regard. So I'm not really sure where they're getting at. Not to mention the fact that Discord has a lot of tools for locking down Discord in a lot of ways. Some of the examples they do actually point out in this article are things like you can have it set up so that when people join your sphere, so your Discord group like BRG, you can have people restrict. They can only get into one particular channel, and all the main people that use this have that particular channel pretty much muted and don't ever go there. So you have basically a lobby. So anybody can go into the lobby, and they can piss anything they want, any rhetoric they want, but nobody's gonna be listening. So you're shouting to empty space.
Yeah,
and it's probably
I like to call it a prison. But...
Yeah, it's an interview room. It's for you to make your mark and see if you're a pleasant person to be added to the group or not. So I'm not really sure they're getting that, but I do encourage you to read this article on Kotaku because it is a good article and it does have some interesting points to be had there. So if you're interested in the same kind of realm or this particular avenue, I definitely encourage you to look at it because it really does make some very valid points. Again, I don't personally agree with a lot of things he's saying here, but it's a good read.
World of Warcraft. So
I hear it's a game.
Just not too long ago, a few days ago, Blizzard or World of Warcraft have added new features to the WoW tokens. So WoW tokens have been out for a couple of years, I think, roughly. And WoW tokens allow people to, for in-game gold, purchase a WoW token, and they can then redeem that WoW token to pay for a month of play on World of Warcraft. Now those WoW tokens go a little bit further. You can actually use them to buy Hearthstone cards, Overwatch loot boxes, Hero of the Storm skins, and a few other things, which is pretty awesome. So you can be playing one game, earn money, virtual money in that game, use it to purchase a WoW token, which in real world you can then transact it for either another month of play on World of Warcraft or other items in other Blizzard games that you may also be addicted to.
You mean enjoying just as much?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, enjoying just as much. It is a pretty cool thing. So Ruark, he loves Overwatch and he plays WoW. There you go, my friend.
There you go. Guys know I'm not a big fan of WoW, but this is pretty cool. I do appreciate this kind of aspect because it makes it fun for people and people who are real hardcore players. This can help kind of obfuscate the cost a little bit for them, which is kind of cool. Like I give them props.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. Not that I'll ever do it, but it's pretty cool.
In other news, in other games, Kotaku reports that League of Legends Pro Faker, that's actually his handle is Faker, Pro Faker. Faker. Had actually signed up for a Twitch account to stream him playing, and pretty much instantly broke all records on Twitch. So
nice.
In the course of his stream, he had over 25 million users. No, I'm not 25. I'm sorry, 25. I'm thinking here. 245,000 concurrent viewers. So 245,000 concurrent people watching this guy play.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, for people who don't know, this is Lee Sang. Oh God.
Oh, at least saying hey yuck.
Hayuk, Hyeok. I apologize. I'm not good with names like that. He is a well-known, if not considered one of the top or the top League of Legends player. Yeah, signs up for a Twitch account, decides to start streaming him playing, and immediately blows the top off the records for Twitch.
Wow. That's pretty amazing when you think about how many people that one guy brought in. Like,
yeah, and I always love how these esports guys have such a serious face. This dude is literally a pimple-faced, 20-year-old, looks like. Hardcore, yo! Hardcore!
Yeah. So, Fallout 4, Bethesda's game, Fallout 4, officially releases high-res texture packs for the game.
Sweet!
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So it's available on Steam. It comes out as a DLC. So
free or paid?
If you want, I'm sorry.
Free or paid?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's free because I think it's just a DLC upgrade for the textures, but I don't quote me on that. But
Quote him.
Awesome. Oh, and that 50. Yeah, it says in the article 58 gigs of space. Nice.
Jesus
keep in
Christ.
Mind, yeah, keep in mind. I think it's texture packs being released technically free DLC. There it is. So essentially, they also released upgraded specs to be able to run it. So I don't know. I see it on their website, and I don't know if this is their recommended or minimum. I imagine it's their recommended. They are recommending a GTX 1080 8 gig video card to be able to run this properly.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Processor being an i7-5820K or better. This is crazy. For a second, I heard this because I have the game, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! I'm going to download this." And now I'm reading those specs. I'm going, "Huh? I gotta build a new computer."
But look at the bright side. It will run VR.
Well,
and Crisis.
As it is. Jesus, I just put a 1070 in my computer.
Can it run Crisis? Don't care. It can run Fallout with high-res textures.
Damn. You know what, though? I'm going to upgrade. Not the computer. I'm going to upgrade the DLC.
Oh,
I'm going to upgrade it and see how my machine handles
50
it.
friggin' gigs for a texture pack.
I know. Isn't it awesome?
God damn it.
But keep in mind, I've been waiting personally for the VR update because they said Fallout 4 will be re-released in VR. I don't know when, but that's what I want.
Ooh.
I don't care about this. That's what I want.
Oh, wait, so do you do the high-res texture pack and VR?
And VR? Oh my God. Maybe it'll make the screen door effect go away.
And in the next episode of the podcast, I announced that Kirok died because while he was in VR, he didn't realize the computer was lit on fire from trying to run the system. Oh my God, it's so real, I can feel the flamethrower. Ah! Anyways, newsflash, Windows 10 is ransomware. Yeah, I had to throw this in here because, oh my dear God. So, Tim Sweeney is back in this game. You might remember this guy as being the guy that said, oh my God, Microsoft is going to intentionally, over time, slowly degrade the functionality of Steam to make it useless so that everybody will go to the Windows Store instead, and it's a conspiracy. Well, now he's got a whole new bag of fodder because there was a leak of Windows 10 Cloud. And Windows 10 Cloud is, for those of you who may understand, is more akin to kind of Chrome OS. So the idea is that there's very minimal functionality natively, meaning you don't really install stuff locally per se. It's meant to be a device, like a laptop, for example, that most of your functionality, all of your saving, a lot of your document working is all done in the cloud through cloud apps, through cloud saving, cloud sharing, etc. And this got leaked by accident. Microsoft's not terribly happy about that. But he got wind of this and absolutely shit a brick, went on a fit, and possibly melted down at this point. But basically, he started having a tweet storm. One of the things he noted was Windows Cloud will steal your Steam library and ransom it back to you for a price. And what he was implying here is that with Windows 10 Cloud, one of the things about it is it will not be running any of the Win32 apps. That means everything you have that's like a .exe is basically a Win32 app.
Yeah.
Instead, the only thing that's ever going to work on this are select UWP, which is the Windows Universal Windows programs. It's the other type of executable in a sense for this particular thing. And if you want to use your regular, software like TeamSpeak and so on, you'll need to upgrade to the regular Windows 10 services like you have Windows 10 Home, Pro, etc. if you want to do that. Now, again, I can't stress this enough. What Windows 10 Cloud is meant to be is a lightweight, thin OS
Right.
that you utilize, and primarily it's going to be a really good utility for like schools because it's cheap, it's affordable, it's minimal, it's much less likely to get compromised by malware and things like that. But to be clear, Tim Sweeney is not just some random guy that got on Twitter and started going apeshit. This is the CEO of Epic Games. The guys that did like Unreal and things like that. The guy is a freaking nutter. Just for the record, I'm serious. He is batshit. So, just whatever, dude. Go subscribe to his Twitter account because he is spouting batshit all the time. It's great.
Ransomware.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, man. He's just...
Cuckoo! All right. Cuckoo! This one's a pretty cool one. I had to include it because I'm a Trekkie. Of course, it has nothing to do with Star Trek, but...
Yes, it does, goddammit.
So, U.S. Navy decommissions the first nuclear powered aircraft carrier.
Wait, so the first... I'm sorry, the first what?
Aircraft carrier is it?
The first what?
What?
The first what?
They decommissioned their first nuclear powered... Did I say that right? Nuclear powered aircraft carrier.
I can see Sashi typing now.
Nuclear. I did say nuclear the first time. Nuclear. I always get screwed with that. It's like vinegar. Anyways. The ship that they are decommissioning is called the USS Enterprise. I wonder if Captain Kirk is shedding any tears right now. Because I would.
Bad humor time. All right, guys. Pour out a Romulan ale for our homie. All right, guys. That's the end of the news bits. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll come back with our meaty bites. But I'm very, very happy and excited because the news bit today is going to be all about a new series coming out from the BRG crowd. This is headed up by the Not Quite Nerds. And this is going to be Shattered Travels. Shattered Travels is a Minecraft roleplay adventure wherein the residents of a quiet town of Mapleton suddenly find themselves in an epic adventure when the priest of Ember House asks them to help him rid the lands of an evil curse enacted by the Prince of Shadows. People who are going to be part of this is going to be a really cool, fun thing to go through, by the way. I'm very excited about this. The people who are going to be part of this are going to be NQN Lens, Ruark, Viesti, ADDF Toxic, Dude Caller, NQN Dano, Tigrix, Boo Games, Scott Dean Hell, Rushman the Dark, and Snap Skip. And you can keep up on all of them. Most of them have Twitter accounts to be jabbering on about, and just keep an eye out for hashtag Who is the Prince?
Who is the Prince? Yeah.
Who is the Prince? Again, guys, definitely check this out. It's going to be, it looks like a whole lot of fun. A lot of work has gone into the prep for this. So definitely make sure you head over to all these people's accounts. You can check them out. We've got all the links to everybody's BRG accounts for their YouTube channels. And you can catch all the stuff going on there. We've got the preview that I'm playing here on the BRG's YouTube site, so you can check out the preview.
All right, I can't wait to look at or watch some of those episodes.
Ah, damn. All right, guys, let us dive into the meaty bits. Meaty bits. So this is gonna be a fun one. And I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm going to piss all over people about this because I've talked about this before. But Kotaku is reporting that Blizzard objects to Overwatch players using keyboard and mouse on consoles such as the PS4 and the Xbox One. Is it cheating? This is interesting because I have gone on literally for years about this and have stated that people who use or play first-person shooters are always going to do better if they use a keyboard and mouse than using a control sticks or basically a controller. This is point of fact. I'm sorry, it's been proven over and over again that this happens, and now this has become a big controversy because there are people who are playing on the PS4 or playing on the Xbox One, and they're using an adapter so that they can play with a keyboard and mouse on the console games, and people are crying foul saying this is cheating because basically the vast majority of people they're playing against are all using controllers. Now, this is not just, a bunch of whiners in the forums complaining because mom and dad won't buy them the adapter and buy them keyboard and mouse to play with. This is actually, for example, Jeff Kaplan, who's game dev for Overwatch, has actually gone on record saying the Overwatch team objects to the use of mouse and keyboard on consoles. He goes on to state that they are lobbying first-party console manufacturers, basically Sony and Microsoft, to either do one of two things: disallow mouse and keyboard outright, which I think is pretty much impossible, or openly make it easy for anybody to hook up a keyboard and mouse. As of right now, for most people, you have to buy an adapter and do a little voodoo to be able to plug in a keyboard and mouse.
I was going to ask if it was something where you just plug and play, or if you have to actually do something.
There's an adapter, and most of they do. Most common peripherals right now are XIM and Chronos Max that people are using, and they even have forum posts people can go to see what settings they need to set to get the optimal functionality. Now, Microsoft has stated that within the next few months that they will have native support for keyboard and mouse for the Xbox One. And this has been something they've been going towards because of their Universal Play, Universal app or whatever they're doing for what the hell do they call it?
Windows Anywhere.
Yeah, the Windows Anywhere. So you can buy one game, play it anywhere, literally. And Sony has dabbled around with it. There's some cases where you can use a keyboard and mouse for Sony menus and web browsing and whatnot, but Sony has basically said it's left to the devs whether they deal with any kind of support for keyboard and mouse in their games. So it's typical of Sony to kind of pass the buck. The big thing about this that's amazing is that people are still so up in arms about this, and it's like, here's the thing. As I said, everybody knows keyboard and mouse are better at this. Yeah, Microsoft some months ago did an experiment, if you will, where they had Gears of War cross-platform for PC and Xbox. They found out very quickly that there is a notable gap in people's capacities between the two. People with keyboard and mouse are going to stomp all over people with controllers. They do still have Gears of War play with PC and console playing together, but they're usually cooperative events. There is a special one that you can go head-to-head, but basically they said the best gear to be partners rather than combative people. So there's that. Now, here's my thing about this, Kirok, and I want to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
I obviously, in general, I want to get your opinion on how you feel about the whole. Is it cheating for keyboard and mouse? But I want to add in there is where's the line, because it's not black and white. You've got a controller at one end of the spectrum. You've got keyboard and mouse at the other. But what about all these Mad Cat specialty controllers and turbo buttons and programmable macros?
So okay. My opinion is, like, in terms of controllers and stuff, in the past I've tried using one of those like Mad Cats type controllers that have like super run, or
Mm-hmm.
you hit a button and it would make your character do something repeatedly very fast.
The macro.
Yeah, it's cheating. Playing forward, it's not the way the developer intended that game to be played. The controller takes advantage of something in the game by a measure or a way of doing it that no human could possibly do it using a controller. It's cheating. As far as the argument between using a controller, right? There's my Xbox One controller, or a PC keyboard and mouse on a console. I would say they should allow PC use depending on the game. Yeah. It's a tough one because let's say I play on the computer, I play ESO Online, Elder Scrolls Online. On a computer, it makes a lot more sense because you're chatting with people. You have a keyboard to type away, so you go into the chat menu.
Oh,
you
certainly.
Use your mouse right? On a controller, you can still buy the same game for the Xbox One. I imagine chatting with someone would be hell with one of these. Right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, but you're talking about functionality of chatting. I'm talking about functionality of actual gameplay.
Of gameplay? Yeah, that's where I think it should come down, just as he said, to the developers. But the developers need to strategically figure out where they will allow... because it's a console game, they should allow this to do 100%. And because some games may benefit from a keyboard like chatting, they could allow only that to work with a keyboard, but no other aspects of the game. Do you know what I'm saying? But that would probably mean a lot more work on their part in how they're programming the game.
I don't think it's possible. I'll be frank and honest with you. I don't think it's possible. There's nothing they could easily do I can think of that doesn't make it impossible for somebody just to plug in a dongle, an adapter, and you just map. Hey, X key is W, Y key is A. I mean, seriously.
Come to think of it, you're right, because I've seen where people will map something like what you're saying through a PC into a console, and they have an app that substitutes your inputs.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's reasonable, because you're always going to have somebody that is going to game the system in that regard. So, at the very least, if you're going to have the option of, hey, either disallow it, period, or make it readily available for everybody, I would definitely say just go ahead and do it. Allow anybody to do it, and at that point, just tell people, sorry, but it's the way it is.
And Sony take advantage of it and sell an expensive mouse and keyboard that they make.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, and forgive me, but it's kind of one of those things. It's like, when it comes to first-person shooters, mouse and keyboard is superior.
So can I give you my little experience with that?
Go for it.
On the Xbox One, I have Rainbow Six Siege. Played that when the game first came out with the controller I just showed you. Got used to it, played with some friends. I'm not the greatest FPS player, but it was fun, it was awesome, and I got used to it, adjusting all my controls and everything. Then Steam had a sale on the game, and it was like $20 on a weekend, so I just bought it. On the PC, I'm playing it using a mouse and keyboard, and I fall right into it, no problem, because you're used to playing like FPS shooters on a mouse and keyboard in the past. It's the way we play, right? So then later on, I get another Xbox One controller specifically for games on my PC. I have it sitting in the other room on my gaming PC, and I bought the dongle along with it, plugged it in, set it up, and I launch Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm like, all right, let's play this, because that game has full controller support. So I'm playing it. The letters that are on the Xbox One controller show up in the game in Steam, well, in the game from Steam, and I can play it. After like 20, 30 minutes, I was like, this sucks. Put it back down. Disconnected the dongle, went back to keyboard and mouse.
To go back to my point, this is what I'm saying, is that this is a situation where it seems really silly to me to sit there and bitch about people, saying disallow it. Don't allow people to play on mouse and keyboard. It's the ideal controller setup for a first-person shooter. It makes as much sense to me to not allow people to use a mouse and keyboard if they want to, as it would be like, well, we have an online version of a racing game, but you're not allowed to use a steering wheel and pedals. You have to use a controller. Well, no, a steering wheel and pedal work better
the optimal way, yeah,
to play a driving game. And to sit there and piss all over somebody because they went out and spent whatever amount of money for a steering wheel and pedal set so they can play Gran Turismo, you can't piss all over them because they want to do that. Just because you can't afford it.
But then the guy who has that steering wheel and pedal set is going to whip the ass of the other guy who's trying to play the same game with the controller.
It's what it's meant for. It's what it's meant for. I'm not going to pick up my joystick from my Atari to play Pong. I'm going to use the freaking Pong paddle. There are games that are best designed with a certain interface.
Yeah.
They're different. It's different games play different ways and they're ideal. I'm not going to play World of Warcraft with a controller. I'm not going to play a first-person shooter.
That would be so bad.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I wanted World of Warcraft on a console. Maybe the Switch.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense. If I'm going to play Street Fighter, I'm not going to play it on my keyboard. I'm going to use my goddamn controller. Rocket League. Here's a great example. I can play Rocket League on my keyboard and mouse, but it sucks, and I'm getting my ass spanked by people who are using an Xbox controller on their PC. Do I cry about it? No. I cry about the fact that I don't have a controller. And Yankee bought me a controller. Now I don't cry. There you go.
You get it working finally?
No, I haven't had a chance to play it, so.
Okay, all right.
But nevertheless, the point is, bitch about the fact you don't got the adapter.
So I get what you're going. What you're saying is basically there's a tool for the job. Depending on what that job is, it's an FPS that you use a control, not a controller.
Don't beat a nail into the wall with a shovel and bitch about the fact that I have a hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
There you go.
Anyways, I digress. So that's my bit.
But I still stand by what I said about controllers like Mad Catz that have programmable macros and shit. That's cheating.
That may be the case, but of course, if you're playing World of Warcraft, you can macro the shit out of your keyboard and.
That is true, but that's built right into the game.
Sure.
That's built right into the game. It's not like
I won't argue that point. I won't argue
something faster.
Anyways, listen, guys, I do want your opinions on this, so please, leave a note down in the comments below or go to the forums and chat with us at BRGgaming.com and give us your input on this. I really want to know, can I get a poll of people and what they think about people using keyboard and mouse for console play of Overwatch. Kirok.
Yeah.
Shock of shocks. You have something about VR.
Yeah, so we're talking about VR. So, specifically, it is an article that is Rock, Paper, Shotgun. They put out, basically, they were interviewing and talking to Valve. The article reads, "We're building 3 full VR games, not experiments." So, essentially, what Valve is doing is they're, building some hype and saying, hey, look, we're making some real games here. VR games, but we're making some real games, not these tech demos type games that everyone's been playing, not these, $40 2-hour experiences. Gabe was his name, Gabe Newell. He confirmed that Valve has no less than 3 VR titles in development, and he refers to them as full VR games, which is awesome. This is something as a VR hardware owner, I'm so happy to hear this because,
more importantly, you have the right VR hardware.
So I was sold on it. You know that right from the beginning. But the article goes on to talk about quite a bit, and I'll touch upon some points in it. But one of the things that makes me happy is that and you could say I am an early adopter because VR has been around for a long time. Technologies have been around for a long time that are VR and even arcade type games that were VR. But now it's finally actually something that you can have a computer that's powerful enough. You can have a headset that's powerful enough to give you an experience in your home that is transforming. You'll move to another world, another dimension, which is amazing. And guys like myself have spent an arm and a leg on that hardware alone, not to mention the computer we already built for gaming, which should be able to support it. And finally, you have one of the guys at the top saying, hey, look, we're going to make some actual real good games. Now, they didn't mention in the article what kind of game, what they're working on, what to expect, what to see. But just the fact that they had that word, full VR games, was good enough for me. Because right now, most of the games that you can get they range from like $2-3. We've talked about this before.
There's a lot of VR out there, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of what you'll see if you go like filter by VR, are demos of sorts, or what I would consider short format gaming, I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Probably, yeah.
It's not a long cinematic game with lots of levels you burn through necessarily. They're fun games nonetheless, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to say the same thing.
You can put a lot of time into them. But it's not like having Skyrim or Fallout.
Right. It's not a retail $79. Well, in Canada it's $79 now. But anyways, it's not like having a full game, like getting something like sorry, I dropped my controller. Like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Space Pirate Trainer, Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. Love those games both. I love them to death, and they're fun, but they're not games, right? One's a shooter and it's a lot of fun, but there's no game, there's no narrative, there's no Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. It's awesome that you can get so realistic with the weaponry and shooting and everything, but when you break it down, there's no storyline, there's no objective, it's just a really, really amazing tech demo.
Yep.
And some of these you're going to be paying $10. Some of these you're going to be paying $20. Like Space Pirate Trainer, I paid $10. Hot Dogs and Horseshoes, I paid like $21. Then
lots of them will pay nothing.
Yeah, they're like the Blue was also I think $10. Quick Draw was like $5 or something like that. And those are other games that are quick, simple, easy games. The Blue is more like a tech demo, which was the game that sold me on VR. Mm-hmm. But then you get into some games that kind of give you that taste, that little bit of this is what VR can be.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, to be fair, we're not disparaging anything that's currently out there.
No, exactly.
Basically, in my view, my opinion, this is great. This is exactly what I expected in the timeline. VR was kind of, it came into the know in 2016, started being played, and all of those short play or demo or whatever games that came out during that time was exactly what it needed to kind of ease into, and not only for the user to experience and figure out, oh, this is what VR is, but also for the devs to figure out, this is what we can do.
Yes, exactly. Oh, he just got sick. Yeah, we got to figure that one out.
We just, basically put it simply, it feels like everybody's now jumped into the shallow end of the pool. We've gotten used to the temperature. Our balls have shrunk. We're comfortable now. Now we're ready to start treading out into the deep end.
Yeah. So there are a few games that I know like are pretty cool. Like there's one called The Gallery Episode 1's called The Starseed. These guys made a top-notch game. Yes, they're charging premium. There's like $30 or $40 when it came out.
That's still cheap, considering
it's still cheap.
Consoles are like 60.
Exactly. But keep in mind, this game isn't a full-fledged game. It's probably 4.5 to 5 hours at most, depending on how you play it, because there's puzzle solving and so on. There's a game called The Storm, which wasn't that expensive and looks great. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Guess what? John Wick, the movie? Well, there's a VR game. It's only $7 Canadian. But it's, from what I hear, it's about 2 hours, maybe 3 tops. What I like is the guys that made The Blue, which was more like a tech demo, also did a preview of a game they're releasing called Gnomes and Goblins. I've mentioned it before on the podcast.
Gnomes and Goblins.
The preview is awesome because it's free and it gives you that, well, to me, it gave me that experience of chills, all like goosebumps and everything. And that, it was literally maybe a 5 to 7 minute experience, sold me. I don't care if that game's a $70 game or an $80 game, I'm buying it. I'm really hoping though it's a full-fledged game, and I put my faith in some of these guys, like the company that makes the Blue, which is the same company releasing Gnomes and Goblins, that they'll do a good job. So the article goes on to mention things like uh, the problem with a lot of games that are coming over to VR is that some of them are ported, and porting a game over doesn't necessarily give you the best results, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is where you get some games that can actually make you sick, and because they were not designed in mind with VR. They were traditional games that were made for traditional purposes on a two-dimensional flat screen, and then they're being brought over and adapted as best as they can, and they just don't work, or the game doesn't translate well. So this is why I actually am really happy with what Valve is doing. They're taking that step and building games from the ground up with VR in mind, designing it for that environment, and that I think is what will make all the difference. At this point in time, the article specifically states the only real game that is out there in VR that's kind of done that is the new Resident Evil 7 that's out on PSVR. They built that as a game that can be playable in 2D on a regular flat screen, or I believe all the way through in VR, which is awesome and freaky. So basically what they need to do is they kind of need to catch up to hardware, because there's hints in this article as well that the hardware will be uh, VR in general will be improving very soon. So there's already talk about things such as high improved visual fidelity, possibly even 4K for VR, wireless connectivity, which we've already seen adapters for the existing that you just hook up on top, better comfort as well, lighter headsets that are designed for longer wear. So all of these things over the next 2.5 years to 3 years are going to start improving. We will start probably seeing new headsets come out with these improvements,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's only natural that we should see games do the same thing. Hopefully, this is the start of that. So yeah, that's it.
Very
That's what
cool.
I want to talk about. Yeah, it's really awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right, guys. So that's those are some of the meaty bites we want to talk about, and again, definitely want to get your opinion on it. Yeah, how do you feel about VR so far? Are you looking forward to kind of some fuller games to immerse yourself in? And if so, what style, what genre? You know, are you going to be into kind of Elder Scrolls or Fallout type RPGs? Do you want to play first person shooters like Overwatch and barf while you shoot people? Let me know. Just make sure if you're gonna do that though. Remember, controller, no using keyboard. Anyways, so winning for this week, once again provided by Kirok, is playing Portal in the real world. Speaking of VR, in this case AR, this looks so goddamn fun. It's ridiculous. Definitely take a look. Check out the article. This is actually from Kotaku, I believe. Yeah. You can actually see them doing a little video play test of running around with the cube and punching holes in real world walls and everything. So this is
That's
fantastic.
pretty cool.
It
Yeah,
is.
I love that. That is amazing.
It really is. All right. Hey guys. A few quick things here. Birthdays on the calendar. Forecaster is up this week, actually February 12th. His birthday. So happy birthday, Forecaster. Forecaster is a passive member on the BRG group. He does a lot of great stuff. He's got he does Forecasters, decent ats. Currently he's doing, I don't know what the name of the game is, Gungeon. I haven't heard of him, sorry. He also does Watch Dogs 2. He does a lot of Minecraft, and he is particularly adept at doing railcraft tutorials. If you ever want to learn about railcraft, he, in my opinion, Forecaster is one of the best, if not the best person to come to for tutorials on railcraft, short of Covert Jaguar himself, who actually creates the thing whenever he actually does do it. Oh yeah, no, Forecaster, I'm telling you, he's probably the best. If you need to learn about railcraft, this is the guy you go to. So definitely check it out. So happy birthday, Forecaster! Cool. Normally on the calendar, guys, we do releases. We didn't have time this week, which I'm kind of short on time. We got a lot of projects to do, so I apologize.
My fault.
well, we just didn't have the time. Hey, we've got
Yeah.
real lives and real jobs, and Kirok is too busy saving the world and erasing data. So, uh,
Yes.
anyways, guys, again, if you have thoughts, input, opinions, ideas, input of any sort, please feel free to stop by the Ball Rocket Gaming website, hop over to the forums here, and you can give us feedback or input on the actual forum itself. We certainly do appreciate it a lot. So please make sure you do that. Kirok, my friend,
Yes.
what's up with you?
What's up?
What's coming
not
up?
much really. All I got on the mind right now is that John Wick game. I'm gonna read some reviews before I actually commit to it. I saw some videos. It looks okay. Like it looks like it could be fun because it's double wielding handguns and so on. There's another one out also for VR called Thunderbird. It finally came out. It's basically supposed to be kind of like a Myst. Remember the game Myst?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a Myst type game. It's not that expensive. It's like $7. So I hope it's got some meat to it.
Cool.
I'm probably gonna pick that up and play it as well.
Excellent.
That's it. That's all.
And Project Singularity.
Project Singularity. We just brought in a new member actually. He doesn't have an online presence in the sense that he doesn't post anything on YouTube or anything. His name is Wily Coyote 7.
Nice.
He just likes, he plays Creativerse and likes, watches one of our guys, Sloppy Canadian, and so he applied and we were like, yeah,
Keep
okay,
bringing
come
him
play.
up. I hate you.
Sorry, we applied and we brought him on for one night where we kind of played together as a group, saw how he fit, and things went well, and so we invited him on board. So pretty
There you
awesome.
go. All right, man. And as always, guys, you can keep up with Kirok on the Twitters, among other places, at the at Kirok Craft. So keep him in mind and keep up with him, what's going on. Again, guys, I ain't got much going on in my world right now. Pretty much it's the podcast and the renovation. I've got the sheetrock up and mudded and sanded, and I got to do one more standing. And then I'm going to do the texturing. We actually get to take the kind of a thinner mixture of the called mud. It's the joint compound in a air gun. And I get to splatter the walls with it to give it texture. And then we're going to be putting paint up. This is all to get the guest room back here ready in time for Cosmic to be coming back from Nevada. He'll be staying with us again. So I'm looking forward to that. Right. And likewise, if I do have any spare time, I will try to get some more of my moto videos up. I've got some more topics I want to put out there. I haven't had time to post, so I'll try to do that when I have some time. So there'll probably be activity there sooner than my gaming channel. BRG wise, guys, again, I really cannot stress enough. Really love to get you guys on board and joining us for more events. As you can see, we do a lot of events, including things like the Shattered Travels, a lot of gaming events. We get a lot of get-togethers, kind of planned events, as well as kind of just drop of the hat events all the time. A lot of the things will be coming up as well. So look forward to seeing more stuff coming up. Of course, the easy way to keep in touch with things like that is jump on ballrockgaming.com and keep us in the loop. Also, of course, you make sure you stay tuned to the BRG YouTube channel, where we will have our monthly roundup that Dude Caller does, so you can see what's happening with BRG in general, as well as what each individual person is doing on their channels. Give a little bit of a highlight. And you can keep it up there. And again, guys, we certainly always appreciate the love and the help and the stuff's going on with BRG. Great way to help us out is, again, give us a thumbs up, give us a sub if you're interested in what we're doing. We're talking about in the podcast, among other things. Give us a little bit of love and promotion on any of the social networks that you happen to be a part of, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And if you'd like, you're also welcome to hit us up on the Patreon website, where you can pitch a few bucks our way to help us out with different events and costs that we are doling out to all of our members to help out with either games, prep work. We did do unboxing. We're not doing unboxings currently, but we may pick that up again if we get enough cash flow coming in. There are new rewards tiers. Take a look at the rewards tier. Everything from $1 and some gratitude all the way up to $50 and an awesome T-shirt, which has been modeled by Trav, so you can go check that out. So lots of good stuff there. All right, guys. Thank you so much once again for joining us. We do appreciate it. We do try to do this every week. Come hell or high water and my computer acting really stupid. Story for another day. And we will try to get more information there. As always, guys, if you have input opinions on the podcast, we have thick skin and we are certainly open to input. So please do not be shy about giving us some feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever works for you. But please, if you're going to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, we always do appreciate a little, reason why. So if you, we liked it, great. If you have enough time to do this, and that's it. I understand. If you have enough time to tell us why, we should appreciate it. If you want to give us thumbs down, hey, your opinion. But give us some feedback. Tell us why. Is it my god awful face? Is it Kirok's horrible voice? What? You let us know. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Kirok. Thank you as always for joining me.
Not a problem. It's my pleasure.
We will catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cut my finger.
Did you bleed?
Oh, I bled. I was making the sausages.
Like a stuck pig.
Yeah.